Hello once again YouTube, Chris and I bringing you a StarMade video. It's more of an update video really. I haven't been doing much in StarMade and I'm going to explain why. So first of all, we're just going to get to the StarMade stuff. I have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Right here on screen we have all of the EVE Online fighter drones and bomber drones. So what are these? They're fighter drones and bomber drones. They're exactly what they are. They're like one-man fighter craft that fly around and they're launched from carriers. Now, essentially, that means they will not be able to be fit into a ship that can carry drones, except for carriers, which are very huge ships and I will not be getting to them for a long time, but I still think it's absolutely necessary to release the drones. After all, they are basically fighters, and I think you guys would like some fighters, right? So, we have the Minmatar Cyclops, the bomber. No, that's not Minmatar, that's Gallente. Gallente Cyclops, the bomber drone. This is the Mantis drone, Caldari bomber. This is the Furbog drone, Gallente fighter drone. Here is the Tierfing, you may remember this. It will be remade. The Caldari Dragonfly, the fighter drone for the Caldari. This will also be remade. It has been made in the past by me. I'll be redoing it because the one I made is too big. And same goes for this one. This one is the Amar Templar. You may have seen it in the past as well. My version was a little bit bigger than this, so I'll be doing it again. Here is the Amar Bomber, the Malleus. And over here is the Einherji, which you may... Oh god, I flew right by it. You may have seen this in the past. In a previous video. I don't really know how much I showcased this. This is the third time I've remade this ship. So yeah, that's all the fighters and bombers right there. And other than that, I have made very little progress elsewhere. I have made a little bit of progress on the Gallente shuttle. In fact, I don't think I've showcased this at all yet. If we come inside to what resembles the only thing that looks like a door on the Gallente shuttle, some sort of ramp, we can come inside and you can see the internal is all red. The internal structure is all red, and that's to separate the internal hull from the external hull, right? And we'll have a nice little cockpit area over here. Ignore the fact that there's limited viewing space because a lot of this red stuff in the front here will be going away. But right now I'm just determining where the inside begins and where the outside ends type of thing. So yeah, that's the Gallente shuttle. It'll look really nice when it's done, and I'm sure I'll be going over it in its own little video. Right now it's kind of a blob of colors, so I'll clean that up with introducing some hardened hull and stuff, and yeah, hopefully you'll see that later this week when I got some more time to work on it. So, let's talk about what I've actually been working on. You should be seeing some screenshots on the screen as I talk about this, and basically, what I am doing is working on my ship release template video, or my template project. And what that means is that I'm making an After Effects project that has the capabilities of adapting to whatever ship that I throw into it, whatever ship footage that I throw into it, and allowing me to change all the numbers and anything that needs to be displayed so that it can be released in a very nice ship release video. So it's going to have a lot of cool moving parts. Everything you see on the screen right now in terms of a screenshot is not indicative of the entire final design. There's a lot of it missing, including the footage, of course, of which you will not be seeing until the actual ship release videos because the footage is the coolest part, and I'm saving that shit for last. I want to surprise you guys with that stuff. So there will be really cool effects with the footage, and you guys should be blown away, but of course on top of that there's going to be a lot of moving parts. In fact, it is the largest After Effects project I have ever done, and probably will be doing for a long time. There are 179 moving layers on the project, all with their own parameters and keyframes, and you know, they all move and they all have different values that need to be put in at different times. There's text that needs to be changed, there's icons that need to be turned on and off, and essentially this one template project will allow me to put in any footage that I want and flip a few switches, put in a few details and stats from the ships, and I will have a ship release video, and I'll be able to use the same template for every single ship from now on, hopefully. Or, you know, for the most part. So, that's what I'm working on off to the side. However, unfortunately, you will not be seeing a ship release video until jump drives have made it to a stable build in StarMade. For all I know, that's happening literally right now, and that's really good, because the sooner the better. But that cannot happen until jump drives are in the game, because I need to release the ships with jump drives at least. I do not want to release a ship and then update it a week later with jump drives. That's just stupid. I would much rather wait and give you a finished product, or as much as a finished product as I can get, like, you know, instead of an unfinished product, and then you guys might miss out on a ship that has jump drive capabilities or something. You know, I think that's a more better way of handling it. I think I would like to stay away from color variations until more colors have been added to the game, because honestly, there's only like, I don't know, maybe 8 colors in the game right now. I'm not even sure, right? But I would very much love it if there were 16. 16 would be like the perfect number. I would never need any more colors than that. So, and I say that because a lot of these alternate colors are just impossible. These color variants are impossible to convey with, you know, one color gray and one color black and one color white. And, you know, after a while, the color variants don't look so varied. They look very similar. And that's because, you know, the limited color options. And honestly, 16 colors would solve it. 16 colors is all I need. Base the 16 colors off of the Minecraft color system, you know, because they got 16 colors in them, including black, 2 grays, and a white. Perfect. That's perfect. That's all the color you will ever need. Nobody needs more color than that in a game like this. And that's all the color I would need. And I'm not saying that they should do that. I'm just saying that there are lacking colors. You know, things like pink. I'm sure somebody would not mind having pink, right? You know, it's probably low priority, which is why they haven't implemented it yet. But either way, I think that would be really cool. But I cannot release the ship release videos until the jump drives are in the game. Hopefully by then, they will also be limited to 5% of the total structure in terms of how many you need instead of 10%. Right now it's 10%. You need 10% of your blocks to be jump drives in order for it to use the jump drives at all. And to me, 10% is a little high. The game is, you know, a space game, and it is in an endless universe. And the fact that I am limited by the fact that, you know, what if I designed a ship and I designed it to look really good, and because of the fact that I designed it really good, limits my ability to use that ship practically. I think that's wrong. You know, I'm not saying it's like 100% wrong. I'm just saying it's a step in the wrong direction, and I think we need to reevaluate that. I'm sure they have, you know, the developers have heard about that. There was a forum thread that exploded with responses to that. So of course, you know, they may have already changed that, and I don't know. But I'm hoping the number is somewhere closer to 5%. I think that would be a lot more reasonable, and I think everyone would be happy there. I think 5% would be perfect for a jump drive. You know, think about 5% of this ship being jump drive. I think it's reasonable. I don't actually want to fill up all of the space inside this ship with rooms. I can't think of that many rooms. Filling it up with a jump drive wouldn't be too bad, but 10% is too much. Literally the entire back end of the ship would be a jump drive, because there's 90% of the ship in the front. You know, it's too much. So, with that all aside, and since I have nothing else to actually talk about, I would like to tell you a story about what has happened to me a few days ago. So, and this does have a moral and a point, and you'll be hearing that at the end of the story. But the story involves one of my older videos. Essentially, I used to do Minecraft time-lapse videos for the series Chris Tech. This particular video was, oh, and real quick, as a tangent, Chris Tech, as well as Minecraft in general, will be coming back, and they will both basically be coming back once in a while. I know I haven't posted one yet, but I have one, like, literally on my computer, my other computer, like, in editing process right now. So don't worry, guys. Hat Pack will return, Chris Tech will return. Hat Pack just got an update with a few more mods that make it really amazing, so me and Swaggy will be checking that out when it comes out, of course. That aside, back to my story. So on one of my older videos, and to give you some context, it was me building a holographic projector, right? In order to showcase my builds, I needed a holographic world, a holodeck, so to speak, right? Something you guys could understand, a holodeck from Star Trek. And basically, I would turn on this machine, and I would enter a holographic world, and I would be able to showcase what I needed to showcase. And so I made the time-lapse video of the holographic projector. And instead of... there are no actual holographic mods in Feed the Beast, or at least there were not when I was building this, right? So I instead used Modular Force Field System mod, and I put the Modular Force Field System into the holographic projector build, and when you turned it on, a force field would be created. It all worked. It all actually worked. The force field system worked. I figured it out, and it worked. Right? So there's that. And then I used a cheap effect in, the editing process after I had recorded it to transition from my regular Minecraft world to the holographic world, which was just a white world that was like a flat world. It was endlessly flat. And that was my holographic world, and that's where I could showcase my builds. So some motherfucker goes on my video and starts telling me about how I use my mods wrong. And here's the thing, Minecraft is a game where you can do whatever you want. There are no rules. Nobody's sitting there holding your hand and telling you what to do. Unlike every other game in existence. There is an end. You can strive for that goal if you want, but you don't have to. And when it comes to mods, I have even more freedom to do what I want because of the capabilities of those mods. And this guy starts telling me about how I use my mods wrong. And I'm like... I know I used the mods not what they were intended for. Obviously, a force field does not make a hologram, but there is no holographic mod in the game, so I use the force field system as a cheap effect to represent a holographic machine in action. And over a few comments, he continued to pester me about how I was using the mods wrong. So I made it fairly clear that if he had actually watched the video, I was convinced that he hadn't finished watching the video, or that he hadn't watched anything and he didn't understand what I was doing. So I told him, if he had actually watched the video, he would understand that I was using it to create a force field, or a hologram, and I was using the mod blocks, the force field blocks, as the effects, for the transitional effects, and it was really just there for show. It was there for plot development. And he just couldn't wrap his head around it, and he told me that he was never going to watch another video of mine again, because I couldn't use my mods correctly. And at that point, he convinced himself that he was right because I had failed to realize he had not actually seen the holographic projector turned on in the series. That happens in the next video. It happens literally in the first minute of the next video. So I told him, if you watch the next video, the first minute of the next video, you would understand everything. You would understand that it was a holographic build. You would understand the plot development. You would understand my entire point in arguing with you. And guess what he fucking says? He says, why would I waste another minute on your videos? And I was so fucking done. I just yelled really loudly into the mic, so I'm sorry for that. But holy shit, guys. Listen. If you're going to assume that you know everything about somebody, if you're going to assume you know everything about their intelligence, everything about what they're doing, all of this person's being from a 20-minute video out of 200 posted videos, then you are a fucking retard. Listen, I can sound like a fucking idiot in one video, but that does not mean I sound like an idiot in all my other videos. And I'm not saying that I sound like an idiot, I'm saying that in the context of my entire life, you are taking 20 minutes of video commentary and making an assumption about my intelligence or what I'm doing with, a series of videos, it's like you're looking at a puzzle piece and you're like, well, I know what that is. And literally none of the other puzzle pieces are even in your view. How the fuck can you tell what's going on in the rest of the picture? And I was just so dumbfounded that this guy had spent like 20 minutes arguing with me, but he wouldn't take another minute to watch the rest of the video, or the next video, and understand that he was actually at fault. And it surprises me. And, if I'm going to get into an argument, it's not because I want to make you look like an idiot. If you're wrong, and I know you're wrong, then of course I'll make you look like an idiot. But if I'm wrong, and I get caught being wrong, at least I have the dignity to, express that I'm wrong. I've done this on the StarMade forums a few times already because I was stupid and I didn't read things or something. And it's just crazy to me that people do that, you know? And the point of the story really is that if you're going to talk online, at least know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't go in there assuming context when you haven't gotten the full picture. You know, assuming you know what's going on without all context of whatever it is you're talking about. Be humble, you know? I'm humble. I don't know everything about, you know, people talk about Stargate. And it's like, on the forums, and I'm like, I don't know anything about Stargate, but, you know, from what I know, this is my opinion about it. I'm not sitting there throwing it down their throats. I'm not sitting there telling them they're wrong. I'm just, you know, putting my opinion out there. Recently, somebody told me on the forums that regular people couldn't get access to the dev build, but everyone else could, right? And, or all these higher-ups could, and people in Mushroom Fleet could suddenly get access to the dev build because they were part of Mushroom Fleet. They were part of the staff of Mushroom Fleet and stuff like that. And he was, like, arguing that, like, the regular people were being forgotten, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I have the dev build, and if you get the new launcher, you can get the dev build. And instead of, like, investigating or asking me how I got the dev build, he couldn't figure it out himself in, like, a few minutes, so he called me a liar, basically. Essentially, that's what he did. He called me a liar. And I'm so dumbfounded by that shit, because it's like, dude, did you even try? I could help you. I could help you get the fucking dev build, but you're gonna sit there and be an ass to me? And at that point, I retaliated, because it's like, you're gonna be a dick to me when I could help you. I was being helpful. I told him that the dev build is available, and he sits there and says that I'm lying and that I must be coming up with this shit for the sake of being witty or something. And I'm not gonna name names, and if he views this video, oh well. But it's like, look, I'm not gonna take your shit. If you're gonna fucking be a dick about it, I'm gonna retaliate. That's how things work. I'm not gonna be continuously nice. I'm gonna get walked all over in real life if I was like that. It's just... And, you know, he admitted he was wrong, but he deleted his comment because he figured it out. And it's like... Suddenly, I looked like more of an ass than he did because I wasn't willing to delete my comment about how I retaliated to his negativity. And it's like, no. Like, own up to it, leave that shit on the screen for everyone else to see because you made a fool of yourself. But the fact that you can delete your comment basically means that everyone else sees you as only being right. And that's wrong. That's an unfortunate thing about, you know, the internet and some things like that. You know, you can delete your comment, you can erase what you've said, and you can erase the fact that at some points you were wrong. You know, I'm okay with being wrong. And I've said that before, and I think that's the point of this story. Is, you know, it's okay to be wrong, it's okay to be an idiot sometimes, but you shouldn't also, like, be a dick to others and assume that they're wrong. Because, you know, you don't know everything, and you don't know the context of things all the time. Just like the one person that commented on my video, and frankly, I feel bad for him because he could have missed out on something that was really cool. He was obviously interested in my video enough to get into a deep discussion about what I was doing. And in the end, he assumed that I was a big idiot. And it's like, he only did that because he just wouldn't take the time to watch literally 1 extra minute of the next video. So stupid. Missed out on an opportunity to discover something because you wanted to judge somebody and judge their intelligence and all that on a 20-minute video. Unbelievable. 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 Anyway, that's what I have to say for this episode. Ship release videos will be released eventually. I don't think I mentioned this, but they're very much based off of Bench Minecraft stuff. And I'll be talking to him about it and getting some feedback from him. If you don't already know who that is, go check out his channel. He does ship showcase videos, and they're really cool. So I'll be talking to him about the ship release videos, and they should be some of the next StarMade videos you see as long as the stable build is updated with jump drives. Until then, expect some Minecraft, expect a bit of StarMade, not so much, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you a StarMade video. It's more of an update video really. I haven't been doing much in StarMade, and I'm going to explain why. So first of all, we're just going to get to the StarMade stuff. I have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Right here on screen we have all of the EVE Online fighter drones and bombers. In a previous video, I don't really know how much I showcased this. This is the third time I've remade this ship. So yeah, that's all the fighters and bombers right there. And other than that, I have made very little progress elsewhere. I have made a little bit of progress on the Galente shuttle. In fact, I don't think I've showcased this at all yet. If we come inside, bomber drones. So what are these? They're fighter drones and bomber drones. They're exactly what they are. They're like one-man fighting fighter craft that fly around, and they're launched from carriers. Now, essentially, that means they will not be able to be fit into a ship that can carry drones, except for carriers, which are very huge ships, and I will not be getting to them for a long time, but I still think it's absolutely necessary to release the drones. After all, they are basically fight. This will also be remade. It has been made in the past by me. I'll be redoing it because the one I made is too big. And same goes for this one. This one is the Amarr Templar. You may have seen it in the past as well. My version was a little bit bigger than this, so I'll be doing it again. Here is the Amarr Bomber, the Malleus. And over here is the Einherji, which you may... Oh god, I flew right by it. You may have seen this in the pictures, and I think you guys would like some fighters, right? So, we have the Minmatar Cyclops, the bomber. No, that's not Minmatar, that's Galente. Galente Cyclops, the bomber drone. This is the Mantis drone, Caldari bomber. This is the Furbog drone, Galente fighter drone. Here is the Tierfing, you may remember this. It will be remade. The Caldari Dragonfly, the fighter drone for the Caldari.